All right. What's going on, YouTube? How's everybody at YouTube land? It's been a while. Well, I don't know. More recent than the time before, right? The lunchtime thing. We haven't done this in a while. Watching the afternoon thunderstorms roll in. We actually got some rain yesterday. It was quite pleasant. It's a rarity these days. It seems like we hadn't had a rain like that in quite some time. It was a regular downpour, so that was good for the plants and everything. But oh, it was my just technical difficulties here. But I hope everybody's doing well. I see a lot of people still on the YouTube, still doing the things, so that's good. I try to check in with as many as I can. I don't feel the urge these days. It doesn't seem like to get on as much as we used to. There was something happened the other day, and Mule joked about firing up the dragon again. It's like, yeah, I reckon not. I think was his point. What was that about? We were talking about something. It was something that we had posted or we had posted. But it's like we said a long time ago. It's like the days of talking are like basically over. Like, oh, it's all been said. It's all been predicted. It's all been laid out there. It's all in the historical record. Just gonna have to let it lie the way it is. But things continue to get exciting, I guess you would say, in some respects, or laughable in other respects. Hey, what's up, M Long? What's going on? Or wait, yeah, what's going on out there? Hot and wet where you were? Yeah, Kentucky had some major flooding, didn't they? I saw some video of that. It was up in the mountains, I guess, mostly, maybe away from your area, but that was brutal flooding out that way. Yeah, that's no bueno, as they say. Yeah, we had some good rain here, M Long. It was quite enjoyable. We're supposed to get some more this afternoon once these clouds build up, I guess. But all the anybody ever reflect and just think about the way things could be if you just did things a little bit different? Maybe get off this crazy train that we're on, and just go about life regularly. Why not just go about life like everybody else and just be regular Joes, Why don't we just do that? Why do we have to be concerned about all this big picture stuff and the imminent collapse of the fiat dollar and the collapse of the U.S. empire and all these other things? Nobody else seems to care about it, right? You ever contemplate those things about why we are the way we are? Are we just that in tune with things, or are we that crazy? It's makes you think about how things would be if maybe I don't get into this whole saving up thousands of rounds and beans and rice and all those things, and planting a half-acre garden and all those things, and you don't get into having 20 animals for what reason you still haven't figured out yet, because you got more meat than you know what to do with, and all these things. You start thinking about, it's like, why are we doing this again? Nobody else is doing these things. Like, they seem to be getting by just fine, right? Like, think, would you have it much better, or how much different would it be? And if you were on that alternate path, would the outcome be any different? I mean, we're all going to die, right? Anybody else think about that? We all end up in the same place. So what's the purpose, I guess, is when you start thinking about, why you're doing what you're doing, whatever it may be, at whatever level. Everybody that watches this channel is doing some sort of, whether it's just being ready for your tornadoes, or you're being ready for the collapse of the empire and the Chinese invasion, right? CME, whatever it is that you're getting ready for, right? Everybody on here's getting ready for something or just being basically prepared. Like if you didn't do those things, what would be the difference? In our own minds, we justify it, right? One, I think most of us justify it through um, you protect your families, right? You ensure their longevity and their security and safety, right? It's probably numero uno for 99% of y'all is it's the family responsibility, right? It's something that you do to make sure everybody's taken care of, not just yourself. It's not an I thing; it's a we thing, right? I mean, am I right? I think in a lot of ways, I think that's the way we think of it. And you see the things that are coming imminently, like you want to prepare, them for the basic and get through whatever hazard it is that you're thinking about. That's kind of what I think that's the way we justify it. But if we were not to do this, and I think in particular, where you immediately jump out of the regular pool and get into the crazy pool over here with the rest of us is when if you're preparing for basic stuff, right? Your earthquake, your tornado, that's an imminent, like reasonable, obvious thing that any sane person would prepare for, right? Like this is obviously something we need to be ready for, no matter depending on where you are, that you have things that can harm you and your property and cause great distress. So you might as well do the things now to alleviate as much of that concern, because to not do so would seem more crazy than being over here in the crazy pool with the rest of us preparing for above and beyond, right? So really, how do the people that are out there just walking around a blissful day, not with a concern in the world, how do they do it? I don't understand how they do it. The crazy pool seems much more accommodating and much more reasonable in my mind. Because the alternative to our crazy pool over here is, I mean, goodness, what is the alternative? You go through life, you donate to your IRA, you have all your things in order with your financial assistant accountant, or not if you're in a position to where that's not likely for a lot of people anyway. So you're doing saving money in the bank, and you're just going to the store every other day, every 3 days. You're just going through life, going to baseball games, coming home, I don't know, watch TV. Do people still watch TV? What's that whole cord cutting thing I hear about? But I don't know what these people do. And it's like to think about an alternate history of what would have happened if 20 years ago, when I kind of started progressing on this journey, if I would have just not done that, right? Like if I would have just left things status quo, I would have continued to cheer for the R team and do the other things. How much different would things be? Would I be better off? Would I have been better off? Would we have been better off? We'd definitely be in a different position. Think of the sacrifices you've made in dealing with prepping, all the preps you've committed to and done, and how it's affected everything decision you've made, right? More vacations, I guess, more free time. I don't know. Probably. Where would you have been 2 years ago if you had been in that situation and not had your background? What would your thought process have been? Would you have been like everybody else? Lock yourself in at home and be scared to death because you haven't been critically thinking for the last 10 years? And be afraid to go out in public because you can't discern between the propaganda and the reality of things? There's still people, even here, I see driving around by themselves with their mask on. It is the biggest. Those are the people that I'm glad I'm not like. But it's the same as the people who are still steadfastly determined to elect Republicans to change things. It's like you haven't seen the ball since kickoff. If you tell me you vote for the lesser of two evils because that's what you think you have to do, I can get on board with that. I can understand and I can comprehend that train of thought. But to just say we're going to change things because these guys are going to get elected because these are the good guys. Like you've lost your mind. That's the crazy pool. You guys are in the crazy pool over there. We're the mentally competent pool over here. Um, because in alternative history, and you just change what you do, what's the butterfly effect? I don't know if there's a great butterfly effect other than you just end up in the pool with everybody else, just blissfully going by as a frog in the boiling water, just watching things and just enjoying life, or maybe not enjoying life because whatever happens to you. Um, so it's really a tough thing to comprehend in a lot of ways. I was trying to go through this thought process of what would have happened, what would it be like just to jump off the crazy train and go along to get along. I can't comprehend it in a lot of ways, even though 20 years ago I was pretty much on that same train. And then you start slowly moving your way away from that. But I don't know. Let me check in here since I'm done blabbering because I think I went through my train of thought. M Long checked in. Red October, what is up? War drums, what's going on? Hoople's is that Hoople's cat? What is going on? You waved goodbye to Reasonable a few years ago. Right on. Even in Canada, the sane are becoming insane, right? Mule Team, what is going on? Mule Team practices at the church daily almost now. Thing. The Saint afternoon. I think I caught up. M Long. Good to see everybody. Thanks for checking in. Hope everybody's enjoying the summer day. Uh-oh. Yeah, we may be overheating here, folks. I might have to shut her down for the phone ain't gonna make it. It's too hot out here, even though it's cool relatively. The phone can't handle it. But thanks everybody for checking in. If I lose you, you'll know why. But I just want to get those thoughts out there because it's like you want to be able to comprehend the other people, right? How do you get people to do the do the necessary things that they haven't started already? If somebody doesn't approach you with a question of concern, like how do you open up to them and like, hey, you should really be concerned about this without the fear stuff, because like